Now, many of you know that the Nio CEO, when it comes to the semiconductors, he said this is one of the initiatives that will help them improve their gross margins. You will know that Nio has developed or has started developing their own chips. We've got the laser sensor main controlling chip. We've got, I think, image signal chips for their phone. Then we've got the autonomous driving chip, which the CEO of Nio was holding it during Innovation Day on his hand, which is something that shows a great success, something that shows a very good progress which Nio has made, which is something that is so incredible. Now, the reason why I'm talking about semiconductors today is that the president of Nio was talking at an event and he revealed quite a number of things. I mean, one of the things that he highlighted was that within a space of a year, EV cars had just 3,200 chips installed in one car, and right now we are seeing each car having 4,200 semiconductors or chips in a space of just a year, which is something that shows you that the chip market, it is going to continue grow, and especially with EV cars. I mean, gas cars, he did highlight that they don't have a lot of chips, and EV cars, especially Nio, right now they are using around 4,200 chips. This just tells you that whatever Nio has started, or this chip production or producing some of their chips in-house, it is an incredible initiative because it will not only help them boost their gross margins, but it will also help them reduce the supply chain bottlenecks, because you can imagine with the fast growing EV industry growing, there are definitely going to be supply chain constraints based on this or because of this. And Nio, knowing that they are supplying or producing and supplying some of their own chips, it will help in, of course, resolving some of the supply chain bottlenecks, which is something that, like I said, it's pretty exciting. I mean, when the CEO first started talking about chip production, you will know that he indicated that if they don't produce their own chips, produce their own batteries, then there is no chance of them getting to over 20% gross margin, which shows you of an important role that these chips are playing onto EV stocks like Nio. So I'm happy, man. I mean, to know that right now Nio is using on Nio cars, you'll find like 4,200 chips. It shows you of how important or great importance these chips are playing onto making Nio cars to be the way they are. I mean, last year it was 3,200. They've increased by 1,000, but thank God we've got chips that Nio have launched a chip like the autonomous driving, which is enabled to replace for NVIDIA Orin chips, and with just that one it can perform the function of all those four, which shows you the kind of technology, the kind of advancement that Nio is doing. So I'm very happy about this, man. I mean, these are just good news, great news, and knowing that Nio, it is one of the players onto the fast growing semiconductor also space, is something that is just incredible, interesting, and it will make us win. Last week there was an interview by Tesla CEO Elon Musk, and he said what makes or what brings profit into a company is not selling cars, but is the kind of things that you are able to do in-house, the kind of parts you are able to provide to your cars, the kind of things like chips that you are able to put in your car. This is what drives profitability. Cars alone, if you are just making cars and outsourcing everything, then you might not even make a profit. That's what the CEO of Tesla said, Elon Musk, last week. And this just shows you that knowing that some of the things that are found onto Nio cars, I mean, you will know that the motors that are all over the Nio cars, Nio it's producing the motors themselves. Chips, they have started producing chips themselves. Batteries, they have started producing cells for batteries themselves, which shows you the kind of direction where Nio is heading. Without this, Nio would not be where they are, and thank God next year when we talk about autonomous chip, Nio ET9 is going to come with Nio autonomous driving chip, which something that shows us where we are going. I mean, this will also boost the gross margin so much, because Nio won't have to go by the 4 NVIDIA Orin chips from NVIDIA, but they will be utilizing their own chip, which is quite remarkable, and it will improve gross margins. And knowing that also there are other models lining up for next year, this tells us or shows us that we might also see the NT 3.0 cars that Nio is going to launch next year, utilizing or using this in-house autonomous developed chip by Nio, which that it just tells you one thing: blue sky is coming. I mean, if you're talking about gross margins, you will remember that Nio right now they are producing their own cars. They've got certificates to produce their own cars, which that in itself is a gross margin improvement. They are also developing their own chips. With that also, it's a gross margin improvement. Very soon they'll be producing their batteries. With that again, will bring more gross margins, which is something that we cannot wait. I mean, I'm very excited when I talk about Nio, because where it is and where it's going, I mean, you and me can agree on to one thing, and that is when we think about that, you can't hold yourself but just say blue sky, it's indeed coming. So I'm happy, I'm excited about this. Tell me what you think about what the president of Nio just announced or just said at an event about chips or the chip market going to over $1 trillion. I mean, he said that these EV cars are reshaping the semiconductor industry, which is something that is pretty exciting, something that is amazing. Otherwise, with all that, just thought I'd just give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. Blue sky is coming. Sorry for the background noise. I think someone, they are busy constructing something, which is why you are hearing the loud noise, or you might be hearing some funny noise at the background. Otherwise, I'll see you on my next video. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, because in this channel, Nio is a stock that I talk a lot about, because I believe in their fundamentals, their future prospects, and those that are persevering throughout the headwinds of the share price will definitely be rewarded. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.